All right, hello again. So we're going to run through the anaerobic power and capacity lab today. We're going to just do the Vertec vertical jump, broad jump, and the wind gate. So there are a few things on the lab assignment that we're not going to do, chiefly the force plate stuff. So we'll just leave that out. So just leave those blank when you turn them in. So with the Vertex, so this is a device that is very commonly used to measure vertical jump. There's a base height number that we're going to want to focus on, and then we'll talk about how each of these blades above corresponds to a certain distance as well. So once we set our base height, which would be established here. So right now, the base is set at 84 inches, 7 feet. I could adjust that by just simply loosening this, making sure I have a strong grip on the device before I do that, because it'll fall down if not. I can move it up or down. There are a series of red lines that we would line it up with. For our subject, the first thing that we're going to do is establish her reach height, and we're going to use Lindsay as our subject. So we're going to set the base at 78 inches. And that number, 78, is going to correspond to this first red blade. So currently, the height of this red blade is 78 inches. From there, every blue blade is 1 inch. Every red blade is 6, with the whites being a half. So we can quickly calculate how high somebody reaches or jumps by looking at their base height and then adding 6s as much as we can before then transitioning to adding 1s or halves when appropriate. So what we're going to do first is measure Lindsay's reach height. So for reach height, for a single arm jump, we're going to have her walk through with her dominant hand. So I'll ask Lindsay, are you right or left-handed?
Right-handed.
Okay, so she's going to walk through towards me, right hand in the air, and just knock out as many blades as she can. So with a base height of 78, I'm going to count 1, 2, 3, 4 and a half, or I can do it this way, 78, 79, 80, 81, 82, 82 and a half. So her standing reach height is 82.5 inches. Which I'll record on our lab assignment so I can add it for you all later. So there are 2 types of vertical jumps we're going to do. We're going to do a counter movement jump, which why don't we have Lindsay just sort of demonstrate what that looks like here in open space. Counter movement jump will involve not a step, but standing, feet planted, go down into a squat, take the arms back, and then bring the arms forward as you explode up in the air. So just kind of give us an example of what a counter movement jump would. So no pause there. She's down, right back up. The purpose of that is to utilize stretch shortening cycle, series elastic component, which should theoretically increase power. So before we have her actually jump, I'm going to anticipate that she could probably touch the top of that. So I'm going to make an adjustment to my base before we actually do some jumps. Because really, if she touches over the top of that, that's a wasted attempt. We're going to take the best of 3 attempts. We don't want any of them to be wasted. So I'm going to go ahead and raise this up 1 notch. So the base height is now set at 84 inches. And we will have Lindsay, I can leave these out of the way because I'm pretty confident she'll be able to get those. And the less that are in her way, the easier it'll be to determine her height quickly. This does not have to be spiked on. A lot of people, it's sort of, I don't know, human nature to when you jump, just really slam the blades. But you can actually waste a lot of energy by that horizontal momentum. Focus on all vertical momentum and just lightly tap the blades, and then we can perform the calculation pretty quickly. So we'll give Lindsay 3 attempts. So attempt 1 on the counter movement jump. Again, her dominant hand is inside. Whenever she's ready. Nice. So we have our magic stick here. So what I'm going to do is move all the blades out of the way that she touched. Line them up here so I can quickly count them. So now I'm at 84. I'm going to count the reds as much as I can. So she's 84, 90, 96, 7, 8, 9. So 99 and a half is her first vertical jump attempt. So what I would do probably is just leave them how they are and just encourage her to, get the next blade. So let's see if you can get that second blue one up there, Lindsay, whenever you're ready. Nice. So she got another inch. So she got to the 100 and the half above it. So she's at 100.5 for her second attempt. We'll give her one more. Let's go for that red one now. Let's get that magic 102. Here we go. Oh, she got the blue. Good. So that's a 101. So she improved every time. So Her best attempt was the last attempt, trial 3. Again, I'll just count them so y'all can see. So again, we're 84, which will correspond to the height of the first red blade. So then I'm going to add 6 for 90, another 6 for 96, and then go to ones. 97, 98, 99, 100, 101 inches was her best attempt. So now we will transition to the static jump. So with this one, the point is to eliminate any contribution, excuse me, from the series elastic component or the stretch shortening cycle. We're going to have her get into about a half squat position, arms at the ready position, and just hold that for a 3 count, and then she's going to explode up and hit. Theoretically speaking, this should produce lower test values, although the type of athlete somebody is might determine if the values are more similar or more far apart. So let me reset this. We do not have to do her reach height again. And the height of this seemed to be appropriate for what Lindsay is looking like she can do. So we're going to have her just get in position under Vertec. I'm going to give her some cues here to hold and then jump. I'm going to count to 3 silently in my head. Ready, down. Up. All right, nice. Pull these out and count them. So again, we're at 84, 90, 96, 7, 8, 98.5 is our first attempt. All right, let's try it again. And down. Up. Nice. So 90, 84, 90, 96, 7, 8, 9, even 100 on that second attempt. So she's really not too far off between her counter movement and static. One more time now. Go. And oh. Oh! Okay, good job, good job. So 100 was her best. Since she failed to hit anything on that one, I would just carry her second attempt number over to her third attempt. So I'm just going to go ahead and write 100 down for trial 3 as well, with her best attempt being 100 inches. Now to get the final jump heights for both counter movement and static, you're going to subtract your reach height from your jump heights. So for counter movement, we were looking at 100.5 minus 82.5, which would give us 18 inches. On the lab, you guys will have to convert that to centimeters, but I'm just going to do it quickly to give you the inches. And over here for the static jump, that would give us 100 minus, again, 82.5, so a little bit less. So she was a ½ inch less on the static jump. So we're going to take a quick pause and transition over to the broad jump next.